What do you do when the antibiotics stop working and the doctor's visits just keep adding up? For this self-employed mother, Kalli, the cycle of chronic ear infections in her 1-year-old felt like an overwhelming mountain she couldn't climb. She was frustrated, exhausted, and reaching for the same temporary fixes month after month. But a simple suggestion from a friend and a single cotton ball changed everything. Today, we're hearing how a Fluke discovery with Melaleuca or tea tree essential oil turned into a total health transformation for their entire family. Listen in as Kalli shares how she went from venting about her situation to finding a natural first line of defense that actually worked.
About 2 years ago, I don't know if any of you have been in this situation, I had a 1-year-old who was getting chronic ear infections. So month after month, I was taking this tiny little baby to the doctor, and after 10 days of antibiotics, he'd come down with another ear infection. Now, my husband and I were also self-employed, so these doctor visits were starting to add up. And not only that, as a mother, I began to become really frustrated with my situation, thinking there's nothing I can do except for antibiotics and Tylenol. And how long is this going to last? And I got this little call from a friend of mine, and I was actually just venting to her on the phone, and she said, Kalli, her name's Melissa, Kalli, would you just try an essential oil? And if it doesn't work, why don't you just go back to the doctor? Kind of threw my hands up in the air and said, okay, what's it gonna hurt, right? So I took a little sample of Melaleuca oil, I put it on a cotton ball and put it in his ear, and about an hour later he was fine, and the next day totally fine. And I thought, that's really interesting, probably just a fluke, right? So I took the products to my husband and I said, John, you have a sinus infection, why don't you try it and tell me what you think? And lo and behold, it works, and I thought, there is something to this.
It's so common to feel frustrated when you feel like your only options are medical interventions that aren't providing a long-term solution. Hearing how Kalli's son was totally fine just a day after using a natural remedy is a powerful reminder of how potent essential oils are. Before we wrap up, let's look at a few pro tips from Kalli's story that made this shift so successful. The cotton ball method. Notice that Kalli didn't drop the oil directly into the ear canal. Placing a drop of tea tree oil on a cotton ball and resting it in the outer ear is a safe, effective way to allow the oil's vapors to reach the sensitive areas of the ear without irritation. The power of Melaleuca, also known as tea tree, this oil is a powerhouse for supporting the body against seasonal and environmental threats. It's a must-have in any first response wellness kit for families. Verification through observation. I love that Kalli tested the results on her husband's sinus infection next. Seeing natural solutions work with different family members builds our confidence to use them effectively. The Oil Stories podcast is proudly sponsored by EssentialLife.com. If you are tired of the cycle of living sick and tired, their book and app are designed for you. You can search earaches and sinus in the app or book right now to find exact research-backed protocols so you can feel confident reaching for a natural solution first. If you have an essential oil win or a cool story you'd like to submit to the podcast, please head to essentiallife.com/podcast. We'd love to hear your stories about how you've used oils to support your family's everyday wellness. Please share this podcast with a friend who might be feeling stuck in a health cycle right now. We really hope this story leaves you inspired to try something new today. See you next time.